All project proposals to replace Springfield's Roderick Island Courthouse are now public on the state's website. It comes after two developers in the running for the new district court bid sued to stop the state's selection of 125 Liberty Street as the location. While their lawsuit claimed an undisclosed conflict of interest with the winning developer, Liberty Junction, today the state published the full procurement record. The Division of Capital Asset Management and Maintenance, also known as DCAMM, explaining their decision to post the records in a statement provided to Western Mass News. Now, that reads in part, these records detail the fair, thorough, and competitive process that resulted in the selection of the bid that was the lowest cost to taxpayers by nearly $300 million, had a team with strong experience and qualifications, and was the trial court's clear top recommendation. If you're interested in reading the proposals for yourself, they're available on the state's website.